Good morning, Crossroads. Morning to everyone in the room here. Good morning to those of you joining online, and if you're watching this later on in the week, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thanks for joining us for our service. My name is Mark, and I help out around here by serving on the connections team and the finance team. And if you're visiting with us, just want to extend a special welcome to you. Appreciate you spending a few moments of your Sunday with us. It's a pretty important day. You know, if you're serious about church, you're going to be serious about children's ministry, and we just had VBS this week. That's going to be a lot about what we talk about today. We really want to take time to celebrate our kids and the people who work so hard with them. It's really important work here. Got a few announcements of some things going on in the coming days and weeks. So Tuesday night is Worship in the Garden here, 6:30 p.m. It's led by our worship pastor, Jen, who's pretty awesome. But there's going to be a lot of singing and... Right. Even if I didn't have to say that, she's still pretty awesome. There'll be a lot of singing and prayer. Bring a chair and join us outside. If you don't have a chair, we'll figure something out for you. But that's 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday. The craft group this week is going to meet at Diane Curley's house instead of at the church. That's Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m. Her address is in the bulletin, so you can check that out, and everyone is invited to be a part of that if you like. And then finally, we're collecting items for our annual rummage sale, which is coming up on Labor Day weekend. Please no clothes or books or old televisions, but for your other items, you can bring them to the pole barn behind the church. Bring them in and stack them neatly to the left where all the other stuff is. And if you've got heavy items, it might make sense to just wait until the week of the sale so you can bring them right into the church instead of doing a little double handling thing. But again, that's Labor Day weekend, a couple weeks away.
Can I add on one thing?
Oh, right on.
Okay, if you got big things, yes, wait for the last week. But also, if you got some boxes and you can hold on to them, because I don't know if you've been back there, but that thing, some of you are shaking your head. It's really, really full. So if you can bring them the last week, that'd be cool. If you got to bring them, bring them. But yeah, if you could hold them, great.
Sure. And we got a sign-up sheet for volunteers if you want to help out with this. So you can sign up to help out during the sale. You can sign up to help out for setup or even for the cleanup afterwards. And whatever you do, we appreciate it. But our hope is to keep you well informed of all the things going on here so you can get connected where it makes sense for you. And to help out with that, we gave you a bulletin when you walked in. There's the welcome table in the hallway. We have our website and a weekly email, Facebook page called Crossroads Church, and then an app for your mobile device. And if you want to be on the weekly email list, just fire us off a note to info@crossroads.net. You could also fill out a call to faith form in your bulletin, put in the offering basket when it goes by, and we will get you on the weekly email list. But we do hope you take advantage of those things so that you can get connected where it makes sense for you. And of course, we are here to connect with God and with each other. So I think we're going to do a call to faith here.
Yep.
All right.
Kid-friendly.
Kid-friendly, okay. So please stand and we'll do the call to faith.
All right. You guys ready? All right, you guys are going to read the bold words, and they're pretty easy. I think there's three of them, 3 words. Come and worship. Yep. All right? Brothers and sisters, boys and girls.
Come and worship.
Even if you're tired and worn out.
Come and worship.
Lay down the heavy things you are carrying.
Come and worship.
Listen to what God wants to tell you.
Come and worship.
See if you can discover how Jesus wants to use you.
Come and worship.
For Jesus is humble and gentle, and he will give us everything we need to follow him. Amen. All right, so I need some helpers to come help us sing and dance. Anyone who's wearing a tie-dye shirt, come on up. Except for you. Everybody up. Come on up, coming up. Come and worship. And if you're not wearing a tie-dye shirt, you're at VBS and you want to sing the songs. Austin, you want to come up? Austin, come on up. All right, so as we're getting started, I'm going to give you the hand motions to this, and this is the only Sunday of the year we'll do it, don't worry. Okay, you ready? You don't have to do this, but this is what the kids are going to be doing. So you're going to make a building, a pointed roof with your hands. Come, let's have church. I need the slides too because I don't always remember the next words. Let's join the heavenly sound. You're just going to raise up the roof. And then you're going to start up here and you're going to make your way down. There's nothing like your presence when the praise breaks out. Okay? That's all it is, and then it repeats like that. You ready? All you cuties, you all ready? All right. Grace, are you ready? She's our instrumentalist for today. Uh-oh, you lose your pick? Okay, I got more. All right, ready? Oh, can you hear them with you got the choir mics on, by the way? Okay, all right. Ready? Let's have church.
Let's have church.
Let's join the heavenly sound. There's nothing like your presence when the praise breaks out. Let's have church.
Let's have church.
Let's tear the roof off of this house. 'Cause anything can happen when the praise breaks out. All right, why don't you guys help them by clapping? Let's get a little bit of weight. Hold on. All right, you guys can keep that going. We'll do the hand motion. Let's have church.
Let's have church.
Let's tear the roof off of this house. 'Cause anything can happen when the praise breaks out. Let's have church.
Let's have church.
Let's tear the roof off of this house. 'Cause anything can happen when the praise breaks out. Anything. Anything can happen when the praise. One more time. Anything. 'Cause anything can happen when the praise breaks out. So imagine, if you will, an entire room full of tie-dye shirts singing that's pretty awesome. You guys did great. Okay, next one is Have My Heart. You guys remember this where I say God sees? Okay, but I need you to yell it, okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right, you ready? Remember this one? Okay, take it away. All right, ready? God sees
Everything!
He cares about
Everything!
He takes care of us. He listens to us. Let's give Him this one small thing. All right, ready? God, take my heart. God, take my heart. I want to love You with all I have. My heart and my soul, my mind and my strength. Oh God, have my heart. Let's see that. God, take my heart again and show 'em the moves. Ready? God, take my heart. I want to love You with all I have. My heart and my soul, my mind and my strength. Oh God, have my heart. All right, we got one more. I won't even explain the whole song. We'll just do the chorus. You ready? I'm going to sing Take Time to Train. You guys are going to echo? All right. Take time to train.
Take time to train.
Remember the rules.
Remember the
Thank you.
rules.
Run the good race.
Run the good race.
Keep your eyes on the prize and take time to train.
Take time to train.
Remember the rules.
Remember the rules.
Run the good race.
Run the good race.
Keep your eyes on the prize. You guys think you know it now? Sing along too. Grace, can you make it a little faster? All right, one more time. Take time to train.
Take time to train.
Remember the rules.
Remember the rules.
Run the good race.
Run the good race.
Keep your eyes on the prize and take time to train. Remember the rules.
Remember the rules.
Run the good race.
Run the good race.
Keep your You want to do it like Shannon did, where you all get in your circle and put your hands in the middle? I think we kind of need Shannon up here for this, because you've got that nice loud voice.
What are we doing? Not fighting.
What are not?
Doing? This ain't no social boost. What is it? I can't read. I'm getting stuck in the middle.
All right, you guys remember how this goes, right?
Yeah.
Middle of the. Wait, do I remember?
Fight! Again, fight! Finish! The race! 1, 2, 3. Keep the faith!
I do want to say, if you're visiting with us, we do this every week. We just bring the kids up. No. If you're visiting with us this morning, this is not a regular week. This is a week where we celebrate all that happened this week at Vacation Bible School. So it'll be a little bit different service than normal. And, you know, one of the things I know, Shannon, who has been doing this for years and years and years, like this year, there were 12 fifth graders. So we're always like, oh my gosh, 12 fifth graders, they're all going to move up. Like, who's going to replace these kids? But then you see up here, like, I saw Austin up there, Delaney up there. I think that was the first time for Delaney up there. Charlie up there for the first time. Charlie's worried about my haircut. She's wondering, wow, how you get a haircut like this. But I'm working on it, Charlie, all right? And then, you know, last week we celebrated your guys' good news. And today, we are going to get to celebrate somebody turning 2. Michael, do you know who this is? Would you like to come up here so everybody could sing to you? Or you want to stay with your mom? You want to come up? Oh, yeah. Come on, buddy. All the way, bud. Wait till you see this guy's gloves. He's got the Spider-Man gloves on. They're very cool. I would like a pair. Just saying. Hey. Hi. Everybody say good morning, Michael. And how old are you going to be? Are you going to be 2? 2? Yeah? Would it be okay if they sang to you? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, Miss. All right, we are, it'll be a little bit different service today, so we won't, normally we take communion, we won't do that today. We are going to take our offering, and as we take our offering, we always say, feel no obligation to participate in this part of the service. We are glad that you're here, and we always reflect on the words of Scripture, and today we read these. Every time I think of you, I give thanks to my God. It's a really important one for me, like Vacation Bible School Week, because what you see on Vacation Bible School Week is like, it's just unbelievable. All that, you have these adults like Shannon and Marion, who you're going to hear from, and Kelly, who you'll hear from in just a minute, who spend hours and hours and hours putting together the program. And then you have all these teens and like middle schoolers who come back and give back to the kids. And it is a beautiful thing to see. And so then there's that, right? And, you know, we say we're a community church. And so, you know, we're a smaller church in the community. But the role of small churches in the community is we can help people immediately who need care. So I know last week Shannon is getting set up for Vacation Bible School, and a family that was in crisis, because they had lost a loved one, came in, talked to Shannon for a little bit, and then later on today, we'll help that family by hosting a celebration of life for them. So like after this service, this was, as you'll see, this was a basketball court, a field hockey court. This was a lot of things this week. On this afternoon, we will help that family. But that's another thing I thank my God every time I think about you. Like, you might think it's hard, and I'm not saying that my wife Joanne doesn't do, a lot of coordination, but seriously, what ends up happening is like we post one message on Facebook and send out one email, and I just changed the words a little. Those of you who've seen it before, right? And we just send that out, and then it pretty much gets done. And Joanne said in the last service, we still need veggies, and within 30 seconds, we had the veggies, which is why I thank my God every time I think of you guys, because you know how to be the church in this community, and it's important. And what you're about to see is important because the love of God going into the next generation of kids it warms our hearts. And I will say this, because of the size of our building, you'll see churches advertise, hey, come to our Vacation Bible School. We don't do that because we don't have the room. However, I say that. It's like one of our biggest outreach events all year because these kids love Miss Shannon and Miss Marin and all the leaders so much. They're just telling their friends, you got to come, you got to come, you got to come. The kids you see like in the room now, these are like the core kids that Miss Shannon sees like all the time, right? But beyond them, all their friends that they invite, and they are here all week, and they are connecting to God. So I want to just say one more thing before we bring Shannon and Marin up. And again, this isn't a normal service, but so churches like ours have a role to play in the community, and big, huge, large churches have a role to play too. They bring people together for concerts and conferences, and they have the resources to put things together that benefit the entire church, including our church. And so I know, I made a little bit of a joke last week, like, for the one person who was using the app. I know there was more than one person using the app, but as we're saving a little money, and we went to a new website format, which works better with the live stream. So if you're using that, you can go to the new site right now, and you just click on live stream, and then that comes up, and you can put your prayer requests right on there as you're watching the church service. But as we switched to that, we lost the app. And I know what a lot of you were using the church app for that's where you were reading the Bible. Okay. This Bible that we were using in the app is actually, the app was linking to YouVersion. And YouVersion is actually put together, it's actually like we're a covenant church, we're, a part of a small denomination so that we have some accountability. But Life Church is also a covenant church, although it's huge, it's one of those huge churches. There's tens of thousands of people who go to the different Life Church campuses. But when you have tens of thousands of people, you can hire people and you can have a staff that can put together the Bible app. And Life Church has been great about this for decades, right? As long as they've been around, they just give their stuff out free. So literally millions and millions of people around the world get the Bible on their phone for free because that big church understands their job and then they fulfill it. So I'm saying that to say, if you were using the Crossroads app to get to the Bible, you go to the App Store and you either put in YouVersion or you put Bible.com, /app, and it'll pop right up. You can put that on your phone for free, and you'll still be able to connect with the Bible. All right. You guys ready for Miss Shannon, Miss Marin, and assorted kids as well. Dave, I don't know why it's doing that. You know how it does that sometimes? I don't know if you can. There you go. All right, if you don't know, okay, tell them how long you guys have been doing VBS together.
This is our 17th year.
17 years doing Vacation Bible School together. And you've been doing children's ministry longer than that. Both of you have been doing children's ministry longer than that, but
25 years.
25 years. Yeah. And so tell them a little bit about Vacation Bible School and what goes on.
All right, so the majority of the students that attend are ages 6 through 11, so kids going into first grade through kids going into 6th grade. That's our target age. We do make some exceptions for kids that have younger siblings that go to our church and have a parent volunteering. So we had a sprinkle of younger ones as well, like 3, I think, this year because they had parents that were volunteering. But kids come in and we have a theme each year. This year we chose the Olympic theme because the Paris Olympics were going to be happening right at the same time. The Olympic theme is something we have used in the past, but it had been 8 years since we had used it as a theme, so these were kids that had never heard it, our version of it. Largely focused on teamwork, team building. There's elements of the Olympics that we can draw from to kind of, relate to the Christian walk. So like the 3 core values of the Olympics are respect, excellence, and friendship. Those are great topics to tie into Christianity and what it means to follow Jesus. So that was why we chose it, and we like sports and cheering kids on and stuff like that. So we also have a good number of adults that volunteer. This year we had, I think, 12 adults here, and then we had a record-breaking 22 teenagers also show
Just
up.
think about that.
Yeah, amazing response. Almost all of them have grown up in the program, which is truly beautiful.
Yeah, and they keep coming back. So you got 12 adults, and then you got 22, you just said?
Yeah.
I can pay attention, sorry. 22 teens, and there's like 55.
Yeah, like 52, I think we had kids.
Okay, 52 in that target range, and then a few littles. Okay, so it was chaos. It was, but it was
in the very best way.
in the very best way. It's like you just see these kids having fun, and Shannon and Marin, they have complete control the whole time, right? Like it's, well, no, I mean you do. You guys have it pretty under. Show them your.
Nobody died.
Nobody died. You got to take your victories where you can find them. You got your noise. Yeah. So I love this because if you've ever heard like a soccer game or something like that, this is what you hear.
Instead of the whistle.
Instead of the whistle, they were doing this all week. All right, so you want to roll into day 1?
Sure. All right, so day 1, the Bible point was respect, peace, and unity. There's more that unites us than divides us. Memory verse, always keep yourselves united in the Holy Spirit and bind yourselves together with peace. Ephesians 4:3. So the Olympians coming from all different walks of life and all different corners of the globe with all different beliefs and culture and everything. Like there are so many differences amongst the people that walk this planet, yet they still come together out of respect for the sport that they compete in, out of respect for one another, their opponents, for themselves, for the space that they're occupying. They can come together and compete under peace and unity of sport.
Yeah.
So how we tied that to our walk as Christians, the church is much like this, right? We come from all different backgrounds. We have all different experiences. we're a fairly homogenous church as far as colors go, but we do come from different places, and we can come together under, be a people, one people, under one God. And we won't have the same ideas as far as how to solve problems, and we may do things differently, but we are united in our faith, and we can peacefully worship and commune as a family, a church family together. So that was the whole concept of the first day. Those are some of the activities that we did. Every day there's a craft. Every day there's just some sort of fun game that kind of relates to the Bible lesson. And then each day for this particular VBS curriculum, we had a team building challenge. So the kids, because there's so many of them, we break them into smaller groups. So we had 4 countries representing. We had Spain, we had Brazil, we had South Africa, we had Sweden. We had all these kids in different groups so that we can manage, they can get more out of it if they're in a smaller group at each of these stations. One of them being the team building station. That particular one is called the Human Knot, where kids were put together, they were holding hands and all their arms and were all crossed up, and then they had to untangle themselves. They had to peacefully communicate with one another and help one another to untangle that mess of a human knot and become just one big circle without letting go of hands. It was a lot of fun. Also, an element that we have every day is a large group game, and that's the same at all our Vacation Bible schools. This year, it was like an Olympic event. So tournament style, 2 countries, bursting. This is what kids say, bursting. I don't know if that's a word, but, 2 teams going up against each other and then having a championship round at the end with the team winning. So the next little slide we have is a clip from one of our large group games. The first day we played field hockey, and you'll notice there are many balls. Pool noodles for everyone, balls, chaos. It's all good. One ball went in there. She was amazing. And the way we did this, so that all kids could participate, from little all the way up, was we'd have littles and bigs. So we'd have littles go out with the team volunteers. Team volunteers would help facilitate the kids, the little ones, just so they know which direction to head in. And then we'd let the bigger kids come in and play their own round, like the second half of the games. It worked well. It worked well. So that was day 1. Day 2 was all about winning and excellence. So excellence is one of the core values of the Olympics, and obviously Olympians, they have to have excellence, right? They have to have excellence to be able to be invited to the Olympics. And for them, the goal is to win. Now for us, we kind of flip that around. As a Christian, it's not about your recognition or getting on the podium or, getting a lot of praise for what we do. It's like the opposite. So we are striving to be more like Jesus. So this week, to kind of help the kids learn that concept, we gave them an acronym, JOY. It stands for Jesus first, others second, and yourselves last. And we talked about how if we lived like that, right? If we approached everything that way, thinking of Jesus first, others next, and then ourselves last, what a beautiful world we would live in, and what an amazing witness we would be for our faith, right? Memory verse, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. If we go, there's some of the activities that we did. All aboard was the team challenge that day, and I will explain this one because it is honestly, I've come up with some games. We've done some things over the years. This is my single most favorite activity ever. So here's what we did. We had their countries in there. We broke their country in half so that there were not too many kids in each group, but they each are given a bed sheet. And then when the leaders tell them, everybody all aboard, they have to somehow squeeze everyone onto the bed sheet. All the feet, everything's got to be on it as if it were a boat. And That's fine and good when the bed sheet's big, but every time we ask them to get off, we ask them to what? Fold it in half. They could go hot dog style, they could go hamburger style, they know all that, what that means. And then they have to get themselves back on. We'll see in the upper left there, you can see that it is about 12-inch square. But somehow we're able to pile in like 8 or 9 kids. They make for the best pictures. I love that activity. It's very sweaty in there. But the Bible story that day was Jesus washing the disciples' feet as a service to his disciples.
And let's,
Yeah,
we
can
got it. We didn't
can
have
we
her
give
last
Kelly-
servers.
Yeah,
but-
give Kelly a nod.
Yeah.
Yes. So Kelly comes up with what the kids are going to do to remember that lesson for the day, and each day it's amazing. The first day, I forgot to mention, she did the Samaritan story, and the kids, sometimes I get so locked into it's got to be like what it was. So I'm like, oh, you got to have like costumes like in that day. No, she brings in like the weirdest hats in the world, and the kids are like, they're volunteering to be parts of the play, and they go and they put on like this squid-looking hat or something, and it's so funny and so memorable. It's so good. So she does that. That's her gig the whole week long. That day it was feet washing. So
And
then,
just let me say one more thing. And like, okay, so this is not every week. But if you come, you'll see like during the year we will have these family worship Sundays. And Kelly coordinates all of those throughout the year. So it's not quite this. It's about half the time, and then the kids go back for their lesson with Shannon. But she's doing all that as well. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, you're good. If you put up the next slide, it's a little bit of a clip of handball. This is our version of handball. Yeah, this is more for them than it is for you, but they want to be able to see themselves. So. Try and pass the ball to the littles, and the littles would shoot it. It was good.
Good cooperation.
It was.
Yeah.
And they really got into it. So look at Rowan there giving some defensive moves there. It's total chaos, too. In this game, they were not allowed to run with the ball, so if they had the ball, they had to pass the ball or shoot the ball. So usually when the littles got it, they just started running, but it's okay. These are our grandstands, all of our fans. That's probably good.
All right.
Yeah, that's probably good. All right. Day three, the Bible Point training and discipline. Commit to the hard work. Obviously, the Olympians, I don't know who ever said it, but like the elite athletes train like no other so that they compete like no other, right? For us, we talked about, for the athletes, they're training their bodies, right? They're putting in the correct fuel for their bodies to be able to play at such a high level. They are in the gym 6 hours a week or whatever, they're putting in all that kind of hard work. The hard work that we talked about was, just being in God's Word, that we need, in order to be the Christians that God has called us to be, we need to be in God's Word. We need to be rooted in God's Word, to be reading the Bible, to come to church, to be connected to a community that holds us accountable and supports us. That's how we keep ourselves disciplined and trained so that when we face hard times, we can lean in on the things that we've learned there and do the right thing even when it's difficult. Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial, for when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him. James 1:12. We do not have a video of our large group game, but these are some of the activities that we did. Pipeline is the team challenge. The kids had to build, each of them had about 12 inches of a cardboard tube, and they had to build kind of like a marble run, but with a tennis ball instead. and it was a moving thing. So it took a lot of teamwork and a lot of effort and a lot of practice to get through, which was perfect because that day was all about discipline and training. Fruit basket, Kelly had the kids playing a fun game to kind of work out the fruits of the spirit lesson. That was also our tie-dye day, and it was also water day. So then our large group game, the next slide, was the pentathlon. And the only reason we don't have video is because it honestly took every adult available to make it happen. It was gigantic.
And half the property.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Or all the property.
all
that's
the
left.
5 elements of the pentathlon were represented. We had show jumping, if you see in the upper left there, Luke riding his noodle pony, and jumping, the hurdles. There was a running portion. We don't have a picture of that because it was very quick. And then we had target shooting. Nobody was given a weapon, but they were given wet sponges to throw and knock over a whole bunch of cups. Then there was fencing where they had to pool noodle joust with a couple of our leaders to try and get those balls off the chairs. You have to come up with this stuff to make it real, guys. And then the last one was our slip and slide into the pool swimming element. It was timed. There was a champion. It was amazing. So that was day 3. Yeah. All right, day 4, teamwork and service. We are more effective together. We touched on a little bit of how kids are given gifts. We're all given gifts that God intends for us to use for His purposes. They're different from one another, but they're all vital and important. And we talked about how using our gifts in service together, using teamwork, that's God's design. So it's teamwork all week long. This was just an extra focus of teamwork that day. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. 1 Peter 4:10. And I should add, we are asking the kids to memorize, but I mean, we can't force them, but we are encouraging kids to memorize Bible verses every single day. And the cool thing is, there are kids that do it. Yeah.
There are kids that do it,
It's a really
absolutely.
cool thing is that kids do it. All right, if you put the next slide up.
And you see the teens pulling them aside, these little kids, and they're like trying to get the words out, and the teens just working with them over and over and over to make sure they get it. It's
Lots
very
of
cool.
repetition.
Yep.
Lots of repetition. These were the activities for day 4. Jesus healing the paralyzed man. There's a man, I think, in that blanket. That made it real for them. They could see how people working together could help someone else. Group juggle was the team building challenge. They all had to, within their group, juggle 3 balls. And it was cute because I was there with the first group and they were like, we can't juggle. I don't know how to juggle. Do you know how to juggle? I don't know how to juggle. Nobody knows how to juggle. You know, like, nobody knows how to juggle. Like, but we're going to do it together as a group. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. So basically what happens is you have a group of people in a circle. They develop a pattern of passing. So one kid always starts, one kid always passes to that kid, this kid always passes to that kid, and then you get the ball going. Once you got the groove, you put in another ball. You got 2 balls going, and by the end of it, you got 3. Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes you did. And then the group game that day, the end of day competition was basketball. We did a little bit of a hillbilly version in here with a stack of chairs and a laundry basket. But it worked great. So here's a little clip from that. Same kind of rules. They couldn't run with the ball. There was no dribbling because really, who can do that? I can't do that. Most of the kids can't do and that's screaming 40, 45 minutes every day in this space.
Tell about Will's watch.
Oh, yeah. So Will, there was a young boy here. He had an Apple Watch of some kind, and he would show me every now and then, Miss Shannon, look, I have a decibel warning on my, there's a noise problem. I'm like, yeah, it's just VBS. Yeah, every day. think somebody gets a basket here, so
Oh, yeah, yeah.
we'll stay and watch it because it's amazing. It's going
See how
to
they
that
get it to the-
McKinley right there. She's going to get it. Close. There she is. Slam dunk. Boom. I
Oh, look at her jump up and
know. I
down.
know. She feels like a
Yeah,
hero.
she's still going.
I know. It's amazing.
Still going.
All right.
right, that was
Day
awesome.
5. You're almost there, everybody. Love and friendship. God designed us to live in community. I find that the last few years, I've done love and friendship and community because it just feels right at the end of a week. The kids have learned the names of all these new people. I should add also there were like 20 to 25 kids from outside of our church community who were
Right.
here, plus teens from outside the church community.
Yep.
And it's super cool to have those kids with us and now seeing them come year after year. It's been really neat. Be devoted to one another in love, honor one another above yourselves. So the Olympics, that friendship is the third core value that the Olympics have. It brings people together from all over. If you've watched any of the Olympics, it's so cool to see them like they're swimming and somebody wins and then they're all crossing the lines and slapping fives or giving hugs from across, they were just competing against one another and then they're still friends. That's super cool. So for us as Christians, we are called to come together, to accept one another's differences and be united in our faith and to be friends with one another despite our differences. And that was what that day was all about. Kelly made this beautiful community tree
Right behind
is
us.
behind us
It's beautiful.
with all the kids' hands on it. That was a part of their Bible lesson. Yeah, it was awesome. And then Wormhole was one of the 2 challenges that we had for their team building. They had to connect to one another and come through that wormhole without touching the sides. It was goofy, it was fun. They each had to come up with a unique way of doing it, so you couldn't have just everyone holding hands. They had to connect their backs or their elbows or their knees or whatever, and it made it fun. The other thing that we did that was of note, the honor awards. The kids had been receiving medals all week long for good behavior. We do this at every VBS. At the end of the day, they get little shout outs from their teenagers. Oh, Johnny held the door for everybody. It was awesome. So-and-so was super awesome at Bible study and was offering answers to the questions and whatever. They come through a cheer tunnel. They come up here. They got a little medal, and it says Crossroads VBS on it, 2024. But on Friday, we asked the kids to think of someone they'd like to honor, a friend or somebody who had served them this week or somebody from their community, or maybe it's somebody at their grocery store. We don't know where a lot of these awards ended up, but it was beautiful to see some of the awards be handed out right here at Crossroads. So that was cool. I got an award. I was super touched by it. I know Michaela got a couple of awards, and she was touched by it. She'll probably keep it forever because we do that. And it was a great week. The last
And then, but I just want to point out, if we go to that corner now, we went to that corner for lessons. We go to this corner for crafts.
Yes.
And putting together those, Amy's a big part of that. So
Yep.
here every day. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, no, truly, there are so many hands that go into
I know,
this.
it's crazy.
I spend a long time planning and putting it all together, but it could not happen. It could not happen without all of the people that are here. It could not happen without my right-hand person.
Yeah.
You're on my left hand, but my right-hand person and
Be
the
scary if you were with,
teenager-
you want that way.
Yeah, the teenagers and all the adults that kind of keep control of the whole thing. It is what church should look like.
Yeah, absolutely. All the
Yeah.
different generations coming together. And then the littles wanting to, you can share
Yeah,
that
I can
email
get
in
to
a
that.
second.
This
Yep, go ahead.
This last slide is our last group game. This was a swim relay. Oh, we had played water polo at one point too with the teenagers, and that was fabulous. But this was our swim relay, the last game of the day. This went on for 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, that one. This one took a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're only getting a little clip. Yes,
They're making their way.
I know. It's hard work. We say a rug burn for Jesus. Right here. And
We made some exceptions.
we made some exceptions. We helped. Team South Africa needed a little help on this one, so we were there for them. Go Chase. It's like an inchworm.
Yeah.
Yep. This style, that one's a good one.
That was a good one. Where they were on, just had their legs on. Yeah.
So cute. So some of the quick highlights, I'd like to touch on just a couple of highlights. The teams. Teams, we had our first day, and then after our first day, I realized that the teens we had a lot of younger teens this year, a lot of middle schoolers or just going into high school. We have an amazing group of high school, college age kids that have done this now quite a few years, so
Yep.
they are experienced, but some of our younger teens needed a refocusing. And so on Monday night, I got some adults tell me we need to get a hold of these teens and talk to them about, not that they were doing anything bad, but they were just being their age, okay? So on Tuesday morning, all Monday night, I'm waking up trying to figure out the right words to say to communicate to them that we want them here, that they are helpful, but that we need to shift their focus from their own enjoyment to the enjoyment of the people, because that is what it means to serve.
Yep.
And sometimes
Yep.
I forget that I am not just teaching the littles. I
No.
am still
Yes.
in charge of these teenagers and helping them see what it means to serve. So one of the highlights this week was I came in on Tuesday morning, got them all in there. I bathed it in. I'm so excited that you're here. I don't want you to quit on me. You're doing a great job. The enthusiasm that you have and the friendship that you're building with some of these kids, just awesome. But it is not about you. All night long, that's all I came up with. It is not about you, right, teams? And so then from that point on, I wanted them to understand that to serve, they signed up for this. We didn't make them do it. To serve, you must shift your focus from yourselves and your own enjoyment, from each other because you enjoy being together, which is a beautiful thing, to the enjoyment and the benefit of these kids that you are serving. So if you're finding yourself talking so much with your friends that you don't know the names of your students, your focus is in the wrong place. So they responded so
Yeah, it was beautiful.
well, so well. All I'd have to do to just refocus everybody is that about you? And they picked up on it right away, and it was such a good week, such a
Yeah.
good week. So much so that I had a number of those kids that are graduating now. Like we had 12, Joseph, I think you mentioned
Yeah,
that, right?
12, yeah.
We had 12 fifth grade going into sixth grade, so technically they're not kids next year in our program. They've graduated out. I've had several of them ask me, can I be a leader next year? When what age do you have to be able to be a leader?
Some
Which
of them
is
are on the edges of their seat right now. What
super
you're saying
cool.
is-
We've talked a little bit about it. But then I also had an email. This is a kid that has come to our VBS since she went to the daycare.
Yep.
Those beginning years, she'd often ask me, why are we talking about Jesus all the time? We were like, why? We never said it, but we were always wondering, your mom must have signed you up. You had no idea what you were coming to. Yeah. But now she's trying to memorize those Bible verses. She's going into fifth grade. So I sent out an email to the parents asking them to ask their kids, okay, give me some things about the teenagers, because we like to honor our teenagers on the last day, tell them how awesome they are, make them see that the time they spent focusing on those kids is a rewarding experience when you hear what the kids have to say about you. It's super cool. So I sent out this email. His dad sent me a message back and said, my daughter wanted to send her own message. So there's this big, long email. I'm just going to share the last bit of it because it's awesome. And I think it speaks for itself. So it says, all the team leaders had a positive attitude. They were kind and helpful and especially funny. I don't know if they inspired me, But please, oh please, let me become a team leader when I get old enough, and please let me and London be on the same team. London's your buddy. So, right? I mean, it says it. It says it. They don't want to stop when they've
They don't
grown
not
out
want
of
to
it.
stop. They
So
just keep coming.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
If we could,
Yeah.
I know Michaela said she was willing to come up, and just I want you to hear from someone who's done it, from the very first one all the way up to this one.
Yeah,
and
like
what
literally
it's like
the
to
whole-
be a
the whole
team
run.
leader. Any other teens that want to come up and
Ellie,
share?
you could come up with her
share
if you want to
something.
share something.
Yeah, Ellie, you could come too if you want. Ellie is Michaela's mini me.
Yeah. Come on, Ellie.
Pass it over. Tell us who you are.
Okay, well,
Why you do it.
I'm Michaela. I'm Miss Shannon's daughter. This week has been my favorite week for probably like all of my years. So,
Wow.
so 19 years. And my favorite part is my relationships with these kids that I've built. I've loved watching all of them grow up, and I'm at this point where I'm seeing them like sending them off, which is getting sad. And I understand my mom's hard part of that job, but my favorite part is just loving on these kids and seeing how much they grow and their friendships that they build fully focused on Jesus. They're just the rock of their friendships are all partly from Christ's love. And my favorite Bible verse is 1 John 4:19, which is we love because Jesus first loved us. So just focusing on loving these kids and bringing them up in this church is really important. And I just love being here. So.
Yeah. Hey, Ellie, did you want to add it?
Your favorite thing about VBS?
My favorite thing about VBS is being with Michaela.
Any other kids want to come up? Teens, kids, don't be shy. We know you're not shy. So, no, you're not shy. All right, we have movement. You got this. All right, these are some of our MVPs.
These, yeah. Zoe is like Michaela, first to everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been friends with Michaela since I was
Birth.
born. Yeah, it was kind of like a forced friendship, but it's a good friendship. I love it. I love her. But we're both Miss Marin's daughters. Michaela said it so well. VBS has been, I've been saying it forever, is my favorite week. Always has been. I love seeing all my old faces that I get, faces that live far away from us, faces that I get to see every week. I love watching them grow up and helping them like find love in Christ it makes my heart happy. And she said it so well, sending them off makes me so sad. I'm like, I miss your faces. I love being with them, and they make me so happy. And I think they also help me with my belief. They show me that there's still light in hard times, and they're so positive all the time. And they're all amazing. Okay. So you just said everything that I was gonna say, but VBS is because me and Maggie, we go to summer camp every year, and that week and this week are like the top 2 weeks of my entire life. Like every single year, it's the only thing I look forward to. And again, seeing faces that I don't see, like the choirs, I barely see them, but when they come to VBS, it's like the best week ever, and we all have a good time. And seeing Maddie and Uriah, who have been best friends since they were little, knowing them since when they were born, and now they're both junior leaders, it's just kind of melts my heart. And Delaney and Luke, I have known you guys since you were babies, but we never really but this year we became so close, and they were just so good to have in my group. And like Ellie Holmes, I remember when you were a baby, you wouldn't talk to anyone, and now you're just like up and everywhere. And yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, it's so like just like heartwarming to me that all of these people like come together every single year, and we just do like this we just have an amazing week, and it's like lifelong memories basically, and it's just so cute. And yeah. My name is Maggie. I come here every single year for VBS. I'm not a typical Crossroads comer every single Sunday, but through Ellie and through the Noshel family, I've really found a home with Jesus, because really I feel like I'm a part of the family, honestly.
You
always
are.
I'm always with this girl. But every year I've been coming to VBS, and it's just so special to me, making so many new bonds with the kids and really growing my relationship with Christ, which is also what I get to do on our week at summer camp, because we go to a Christian summer camp, which is so fun for me because I get to meet so many new faces. But through VBS, I also get to meet so many new faces and make so many friends with these kids and grow such good relationships, like Austin and Anissa and Raylan and Rosie. We all just make such good friends at this camp. And when I come to VBS, it makes me connect so much more. And it makes me think about how, even though my family doesn't come every week on Sundays, it makes me want to come, even just by myself, driving up on my own. I just want to come every Sunday and really grow my relationship with Christ, even if I don't have people at home that want to do that. And I just love being here so much, and it just like feels like a second home to me. Because after VBS week, it's like the post-VBS depression. Because you come here with all the kids, and it's just such a good high, and leaving is just so sad, and you're just waiting and waiting for next year to come. And I just love everybody here so much, and I love this church so much, and it's so good for me. So, yeah. Aww.
You want to do the Aubrey, yeah, go ahead.
So before I get to the next thing, Maggie is like the perfect example of when Ellie was in first grade, she invited, I think Shannon said something, she's like, well, it's Ellie and like 2 groups worth of friends. One of those friends was Maggie. She started coming the summer after first grade, and she has come every year. And now she's going into 11th grade and a leader. So that is part of the community. I mean, we have a very small group, but these kids bring their friends, and they come back every year, and they turn into leaders. And they love on the kids. We love on them. So that's part of the community.
And Maggie, a lot of people here remember you, Maggie, from when you did your first communion.
They did. She and Ellie did their first communion, and Maggie sang a song.
And Maggie got up here and sang a song. It was incredible. No pressure. We're not going to ask you to come right up. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then another friend that they brought, she moved to South Lyon in 3rd grade, is Aubrey. She is a type 1 diabetic. And every year we do a coin drive. This year we chose Breakthrough TD1, which is her organization that she does a walk for, she tries to earn money for, to try to find a cure. So the kids have a competition. This year it was their 4 countries versus Team USA. Any money that they brought in earned them medals. The games that they played earned them medals. USA did not earn any medals here, but we kept count of all the Olympians' medals at the end of the week. If their countries had more medals than the USA, they got to pie their leaders. They did succeed. I don't know what the count is anymore because USA has earned a whole bunch more yesterday. But we ended up bringing in about $200 for Aubrey and Breakthrough TD1. And they got to pie the kids. Ellie, little Ellie, got to pie big Ellie. I think Maddox got to pie somebody.
It's a drawing.
Yeah, it's a drawing. When they bring in their change, their name goes into a bag, and the leaders draw them out. So it's a lot of fun watching them.
Aiden, did you want to come up and say something? Will you please?
Aiden is Aubrey's little brother.
Have the actual number? Yeah.
Okay, 189. And Aiden is another one that was brought, he was brought here by Arian, and he's been here every year.
Yeah. Okay, you're done. All right.
We have a video.
Yeah, let me.
It's long.
It's long. I just want to say one more thing. So, I just want you to understand all the work that goes into this. And this is not like a knock on anybody else. It's like you take the gifts that your church has been given and you use them, right? So this is the gift that we've been given. So if you drive by other churches, you'll see like these VBS signs, and a lot of times it's the same sign because there's these curriculums out there you can buy, and they're really good. But if you have someone who can design them just for your kids and know your kids and know how to put these teens need to be with these littles and just can make it, it's like, it takes it up a whole notch. It's been years since we've done it, but we've done some VBS stuff with City Covenant Church, and we brought some other children's pastors to help us out when we were at City Covenant. They're all like, this stuff is amazing that Shannon makes, right? She should be copywriting this, but we get the gift. Your kids get the gift. Our whole community gets the gift of the gift that God has given her, and she so willingly puts it out. So thank you for all the time, Maren, thank you for all the time and effort in coordinating all that. It's unbelievable. So we have done in past years, we've run this very long video during the service. What we're going to do today is I'm going to do a blessing, and then we are going to run the video. If you're online, we have to turn off the live stream because in order to keep it fun and to use the songs we want to use, our copyright license doesn't allow us to broadcast those out. We can play them in the room. So I'm going to do a blessing. If you want to go, feel free. If you want to stay and see, it's about 17 minutes. Yep. And it's just, if you're down on, like, where's our society going? What's going to happen to the next generation? Watch the next 17 minutes, because that's the next generation. And with these types of leaders, I think they're going to be okay, right? I mean, we got to keep praying for them, but, yeah. All right. Oh, Aiden's got one more thing.
Yesterday we had a bake sale.
Yeah.
It was 12 through 4, and we raised $2,300.
Ooh, wow.
Maybe we should be doing baked goods.
I admit, next year, baked goods, Maren, yeah. 2,300, that's cool, Aiden. All right, you guys, thank you for being here today. Again, I know some of you are visiting. This is not the normal Sunday. But as you go from this place, may the Lord himself bless you and keep you. May he be kind and gracious to you. May he look upon you with his favor and give you his peace, which passes all our understanding. And all God's people said? Amen. All right.